Hey guys, Warriorcraft 13 here with part 5. Sorry about that. Had to get my mic. I've changed the setup. I hope you guys can hear me better now. Me and my other camera have been having some difficulties. This is a lower quality camera, but I'm much closer. As you can see, there's more light. And for the other kit, you could basically see everything, I think. I don't know. Time will tell. But I wanted to do the first aid kit up close and personal. So, this is it. As you can see, it's nothing special. It's just your regular sports bag of some kind. And this is dental floss here. And there is dental floss there. And this one unzips, actually. I mean, unhooks. This other one doesn't, because just one is good enough for the way I run it. And I know it looks really badly put together, especially this. It's actually stapled together. It's sewn and stapled. I will fix this. This is a lot of stuff to do, and I haven't gotten around to it. Why make your own kit? Well, the store-bought ones are really bad. That's about it. You have maybe one bandage, one gauze, few band-aids, and that's it. And you can pretty much, that first aid kit, if you run into someone who really needs first aid, that kit, you can shove it where the sun don't shine. That's pretty much all it's good for. And that's not just my opinion, it's pretty much everyone's opinion. No, I don't know, I've seen some kits in the States, they're supposedly better, but I don't trust any store-bought kit. Alright, so let's get right into this. And, well, let's start on this side. And it has two side stringy, meshy, stretchy pockets. Stainless steel scissors, medical scissors. They're good for cutting clothing, they're good for cutting bandages, they're good for any first aid work. They just come in really handy. And it's good to have scissors, more than one pair of scissors. Then you got this. This is just a neck strap for IDs and stuff. It pops open here. You can use it as a pistol sling. You can use it to carry a small flashlight around your neck. You can use it to tie a tourniquet. I would use this primarily for an emergency situation type of tourniquet. It is a bit stretchy, but it's good. It's as good as your belt, maybe better. It's not perfect. It's definitely on the bad side, but it has several purposes, several uses. So I keep it in there, doesn't take any space. This is Bacardi, as the camera will show. It's one of those airplane servings. It's a little bit bigger. It's good rum. It's good for disinfecting things. It's good for building up your courage or the patient's courage. It's not your #1 choice for disinfecting stuff. I mean, you don't want to disinfect a wound. You can, but you don't want to. You want to use iodine. Although, it also depends who you ask. Some people say don't use iodine. Some people say don't use peroxide. I don't like peroxide because I heard some bad stuff about it. It can be used in really shallow cuts and cleaning. I prefer iodine and alcohol, not 70% although I've heard that alcohol is real bad for you as well. So this is a backup, your call. Pen light, getting into the second pocket here on the other side. Pen light, pretty bright, those single one-time use. Maybe you can replace the batteries, I don't know. They were really cheap though, they were like 30 cents, maybe a little more. Another one of those pen lights. They're good if you're working in the dark, if you need extra light inside someone's wound. 100 centimeters white shoelaces can be used also for binding wounds, for tourniquets, for securing things. It's instead of cord. I have that in there just in case you need to secure something, you need to tie something. You're all out of tourniquets, you only got these 3 things left, you can still do something. This is a bigger, really nice, really snazzy pen lighter. This one was also cheap though. You can see I don't want to blind you, that's not even pointing directly. It's really bright. I think it runs on AA or AAA batteries. I'll tell you right now. No, wrong side. I hate when I do that. I unscrew the wrong side of the flashlight for some reason. AAA, which is good because I talked about my survival bug out bag, everything in there, bug out belt, everything in there is AAA. And I use lithium batteries because I hear they're the way to go. And also a tiny sponge, a piece of sponge actually, in a little biodegradable baggie. It's not sterile, but you can use it to stop some bleeding. In worst case scenario, you can stuff it in a gunshot wound, although I wouldn't recommend it because this stuff will go inside your bloodstream and kill you, give you gangrene. You can use it to disinfect your equipment though. You can soak it in alcohol, wipe stuff. You can disinfect your stuff with a lighter. It's all up to you. So we've done the side pouches. I'm sorry, I'm having difficulty with this camera, haven't used it much. And we're gonna move now into this front pocket here. And this is my smallest med kit. Now in here, first, chapstick. Always carry lots of chapstick with you. Then 2 granola bars. If you saw that, now you might know where I live. Super glue. This stuff is good. Super glue. This stuff is good. You can use it to stop wounds if you know how to do it, to stop bleeding. I wouldn't recommend it. It's good in cold weather. I wouldn't recommend trying to super glue people's wounds unless you really know what you're doing. I had a doctor explain it to me how to do it. It was not something that I would like to try to do. I would prefer to have the plastic staple surgery gun, but those are really expensive and I can't get it. That way you don't have to sew people. You can just staple them up. But once again, you gotta know what you're doing. Then in there I have 4 sugar bags, just some small baggies of sugar that you get at restaurants or coffee shops or whatever, and a little sweetener also. I drink coffee black, so they always give me sugar. I always take it home with me, 2-3 baggies, and a little alcohol tissue. It can be used for disinfecting wounds, for cleaning your hands, cleaning your instruments, whatever you need clean. And that's everything in the front pouch, this one here, and the side pouches. Some of this so far has not been pretty much for first aid, but helpers for first aid. You know, the granola bars or some of sugar drops, or if they're lost a little blood and you want them to feel a little better. And now we're going to get into the big main compartment. And I wish I'm going to have to go a little freehand here. Okay, as you can see, these are dust masks. 30 of them in a little plastic bag. And I just wanted to show you how it looks inside. This covers the top of my bag. That goes on the top. They're nothing special, but if there is an earthquake or buildings falling or volcanic eruption, although there are no volcanoes where I live at the moment, Dust masks are pretty good. You don't want to breathe in dust. There are other possibilities where I live of toxic gases. There's a place where there's a lot of toxic shit, and they always, like when things are normal and everything's good, they always have toxic gases escaping on them. And so imagine if things go really bad, if they can't control their shit when things are normal. You know, I want to be prepared. Call me crazy. So yeah, once you remove, I'm gonna go back to freehand so I can show you the inside of this pouch. Sorry, there you go. And I can use my pen light to brighten up things a little. I hate the quality of this. I'm gonna have to get a real camera, guys. But yeah, you can see inside it's just a big pouch, and I've filled it to the top. Now there are things around, and then there's this first aid kit inside the first aid kit, and I'm gonna go back to set this down so I can pull out the stuff and show you. What's in there. So I'm gonna move these things out of the way because you've seen them and you know what they are, what I use them for, so forth and so on. So there's no need for them to take up more space. I can pull out the rest of the gear in here, and yeah, so you see it's okay, let's start first pulling out things from the side. Big spoon, never know what it might be useful for. A bunch of zip ties come in very handy. You can use them for thousands of things. I won't go through all of them now. Female maxi pads, female hygiene product, period products. These puppies absorb a lot of blood, and I got the most absorbent ones. And if you ever see a commercial for a maxi pad thing, it's always about how absorbent they are, and these are smaller, cheaper, and better than compresses or gauzes. These are, contrary to popular belief, if you leave these inside the original package, these are sterile because women are very prone to infection in that private parts. So you can put this right on a wound to stop major bleeding, and that's what they're for. They're blood stoppers, because a gauze won't really stop a lot of blood, especially if you're dealing with a major laceration or a really deep wound. Pen for writing, circling wounds, see how infections are doing. You'll find a lot of use for a pen, and I already have 2 pen lights in this pen. So now here are some pills. They're just laying around. These are painkillers. The active ingredient is codeine and caffeine. I prefer them to, say, aspirin or Tylenol or ibuprofen. They work on me. I'm really chem resistant, probably because of growing up as a teenager in South America. So drugs don't really do that much to me. Vitamin C. You need about half of one of these per day. So here you got 4. That's 8 days of vitamin. You can't synthesize your own vitamin C. Vitamin C is important. You want to have vitamin C. This is against migraines. It's also muscle relaxing and make you happy pill, you might say. Comes in very handy, especially if you get a really bad migraine. It works for me. And another chicken bouillon soup thingy. So if someone's really out of juice, doing bad, needs to recover a little energy, you can make them soup. And moving on, a few band-aids, small ones, medium ones, and then a little bit bigger ones. This is like the biggest one I have. I don't know if you can really see how big it is. But band-aids, they're there just for the comfort of if someone gets a boo-boo. Because if you need a band-aid for your wound, you don't really need anything for your wound. 2 instant soups. Now these are good soups actually. I've eaten them a lot. You just put them in, you add this baggie to boiling water, 2 minutes, and you got really good instant soup. That's good for if someone's completely dehydrated, needs to recover their electrolytes, so forth and so on. Some more band-aids. These are your squared ones for like puncture wounds. Also nothing special, nothing great, but an antiseptic wipe. Also rides in the front so you can access it quickly. And a big bag of antiseptic wet wipes, antibacterial with alcohol. You want this. I've talked about cleaning, keeping your hands clean, and especially in an outdoor survival situation, your hands are important, your face is important to keep them clean. And also more wet wipes, antibacterial. It's important if you're going to do any first aid that everything's clean. You know, you don't want to give someone an infection and kill them. A opened bandage, which I've used. I remember I hurt my hand. It's not sterile, but you can still use it to bandage someone's wound. An X-Acto knife. These are cheap. You have them everywhere. This one's a little bit oiled up, so I'd have to clean it and sterilize it before, if I were ever to open it. If you get a bad infection, a wound needs to be opened, drained. If you have a foreign body that needs to be dug out and you can't get to it. I've seen people manage to stick sticks into their thigh and then break it off at a 90-degree angle, so you pull off a part of it outside and a big piece remains inside, and if you don't get it out, it'll give you gangrene, it'll kill you. I had once a piece of wood like that big stuck inside my thigh, and I had to extricate it myself. It was not pleasant. Safety pins. I don't need to tell you what those are for. I mean, another alcohol, tissue, and actually this video ran a little long, so I'm going to stop here because that's everything from the inside of the bag, pretty much. And I'm going to move on to the small kit, and I'll continue that in part 6.